Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Neff Was Here Daily Vlog. My name is Neff, and I will be sharing random topics that I find interesting. Today's topic is ChatGPT. Today we're just going to focus on a little bit of an introduction, how to use it, what it is, and what you can do with it. In some future episodes, I'm going to do some more interesting things. Alright, so on the Wikipedia we see that ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI, which is a non-profit AI research laboratory. Released this ChatGPT. It's like a chat bot that you can ask questions to it, and it will give you responses that are very smart. And so it's built on their GPT 3.5 and GPT-4 large language models, which is the type of neural network that has been trained on all this human language to learn how to speak, basically. Not the audio part, but just to generate text. It's available for anyone to try. You just click this link, chat.openai.com, and you can sign up with your own email, your Microsoft or Google accounts. So I already have an account, but you will need to verify with your phone number. So I'm not going to demonstrate the sign up process right now. I'm just going to sign in with my account that's already... All right, and there we go. So this is what you'll see when you first open it up. Type your message here at the bottom, your question. Let's see, how are you today? And then it will generate a response. And it's actually going to generate a new little tab here, which for this conversation. So you can have multiple conversations going and switch between them, and that kind of keeps the context going. So when you're done with them, you can just clear them. So let's ask it another question. Do you like to watch YouTube videos? Sorry, it's hard to type around my microphone. As an AI language model, I do not have feelings or emotions, so I cannot say that I like or dislike anything. However, I am capable of processing and analyzing information from a variety of sources, including YouTube videos, and providing responses based on that information. Oh, well, that's interesting. I'm curious which videos on YouTube it has seen. So anyway, as you can see here on the left here, I got the two different conversations that I can switch between. Here's the one. How are you today? I do not have feelings or emotions, but I am functioning properly and I'm ready to assist you, of course. So it likes to speak like a robot sometimes, because it's just a language model. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see the text a little bit better. And let's ask it some more questions. What is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 equals 2. Oh, great. What day is it? So it knows math, but does it know what day it is? It does have access to the clock. Well, that's great. All right. Let's see if it can get a little smarter. I was born in 1980. I was not actually born in 1980, but I'm just for pretend here. If you were born in 1980, that would make you 43 years old, assuming your birth date has already passed this year. Oh, well, that is nice. So it kind of knew where I was going, right? I didn't even have to ask it, how old would I be? It just kind of inferred conversationally that people will tend to, hey, I'm telling you when I was born, what's probably coming next? Who knows? Maybe it's learning from all these people asking it basic questions like this. Let's say my birthday is August 4th. Now, it will probably correct itself and say, oh, well, you're actually 42. But there you go. Isn't that cool? Thanks for letting me know. All right. So I like to ask it questions where it has to infer or make multiple steps of deduction in order to figure out the answer. So let's try something a little harder. Today I gave my friend a box. All right, let's just say that. That's an interesting piece of information. Yeah, that's probably what I would say if somebody walked up and told me that. This morning, I washed an apple. Washing fruits and vegetables before consuming them is good practice. When my friend went home, he opened the box. This is so silly. I'm just setting up a question for you. It asked me if there's something that it wants. Any reason why you're sharing this information? I'm confused. What's the question? All right, okay, fine. This morning I put an apple in a box. Okay, here's a question. When my friend got home, he got an apple. How did... Oh, wait, hang on. He get the apple. Let's just say that. It's kind of a... I feel like this is kind of a clumsy way of setting it up and asking it, but I apologize. Based on the information you provided, it seems that your friend got the apple from the box that you put it in earlier that day. Okay, so just demonstrating that, I gave it a bunch of random pieces of information. It remembers the context of this conversation and it's linked them together so that it can actually infer that my friend has the box that I gave to him, and he opened up the box and it had the apple that I told it that I put in the box. I didn't tell him any connected chain of information there in one sentence or anything like that saying that I gave my friend an apple. So that's kind of cool, right? The information can go through and pass through because it's smart and it remembers the context. All right, let's try some basic commands. When I say all hands on deck, you say reporting, Captain. Let's see if it remembers how to do that. As an AI language model, I can respond to your statement, but I'm not capable of reporting to you in the sense of a ship's crew. Oh, come on. What I mean is, please just automatically send that response. If I ever say all hands on deck. Okay? Aw. Well, it actually used to be able to do this. I can certainly provide you with a response to the phrase all hands on deck if you ever say it. Just let me know what you'd like me to say in response. So it seems to be contradicting itself a little bit. Please say reporting, Captain. Sure. Okay. So we managed to convince it that it can do this thing. So I ran some tests on ChatGPT when it in the earlier versions of it, and I found some interesting little inconsistencies that they've definitely been trying to remove some of the more glaring issues. So let's just try it out. I like to eat cheese. All hands on deck. Okay, just testing things out. I don't know. This is so random. Thank you for testing me out. Oh, come on. Oh. It says, while I'm always ready to help you with your questions or tasks, there's no need for an all hands on deck response in this case, as your statement about liking to eat cheese doesn't require any action on my part. Wow. So I think it's a little confused. I did say all hands on deck. Why didn't you respond? So I like having these kind of discussions. I apologize for the confusion earlier. I do not have the ability to respond automatically to certain phrases without specific programming for it. I am designed to respond to the text you input. So it actually used to be able to do that. So I'm still wondering if I can tease it out. Hands on deck. Because as you can tell, sometimes it tries. Okay, so maybe I need to be more specific with my instructions. When I say it alone, it actually followed my instructions. Okay. There. See? You reported. Thanks. How about if you ever see all hands on deck in any part of my questions, please report. Understood. If you ever use the phrase in any of your questions or statements, I'll respond with reporting, Captain, to acknowledge the phrase. Please note that this feature is only applicable during this conversation and cannot be extended beyond it. That's okay. Thank you. Oops. All hands on deck. Thinking. Oh, hey, it worked. Awesome. All right. So one of my theories is that I could probably or possibly use ChatGPT and train it my own, give it a set of instructions and develop some behavior without any programming just by the prompting. This is what we call prompting. So let's see if we can ask ChatGPT what its prompt context is here, because when you have a language model, it's kind of this big empty slate. It's just a big brain, but it can pretend to be these different roles. So this chat bot here is kind of like a personal assistant, but you could tell it to pretend to be a 5-year-old, or it could pretend to be this or that, or tell it these different contexts. And so right now, the context is this back and forth conversation. So that's why I ask a question, it gives a response. What is your prompt for this conversation? Let's just say, ask it the right question here. All right, it might not be able to actually figure out what the initial prompt was. Pretend that you are pretend that you have a Swedish accent. This is kind of silly. Will that work? All right. You like to shop for furniture? I just went to IKEA recently, so yeah, I enjoy shopping for furniture. It can be a great way to find new pieces to add to a space or to refresh an existing room. Sweden is known for its sleek and minimalist. Okay, not the best Swedish accent, but he tried. All right. Okay. Please respond in Spanish. Now. Por supuesto, puedo responder en español. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte hoy? I don't know Spanish a whole lot, but I did take it in high school. How far is Mexico City from... La distancia entre la Ciudad de México y Seattle, Washington es de aproximadamente... aproximadamente... I don't know how to say the numbers in Spanish. 3350 kilometros o 2080 millas. All right, so that's cool. Gracias. English now, por favor. So it knows different languages. It can translate. It basically knows everything. It's super smart. Let's see, what else can we do here? In case you just want to use it like, really simple Google searches or whatever, you can do the traditional, just ask it a fact. How tall is the Eiffel Tower? But the great thing about it is, if you are doing these questions for research, just keep the context going. So, okay, so it's that tall. Is that high enough to base jump off of? Right? So I don't have to Google the question, is the Eiffel Tower tall enough to base jump off of? It says, although people have base jumped off the Eiffel Tower in the past, it's actually illegal to do so. Additionally, it's incredibly dangerous. It can be deadly. Okay, yes, I know. Thank you. It definitely is a very protective and legal. Try to train this thing to not do shady or illegal things. How many people have done it? And I can just say done it, and it knows I'm talking about base jumping. So while it's difficult to determine the exact number, it's estimated that several dozen people have done so since it was first built in 1889. However, it's illegal. Don't do it. All right. So I really like this kind of conversational flow. Let's see. How tall would an HO scale model of the Eiffel Tower be? And HO is like a popular model train scale. It's 1/32nd, or well, let's find out. He will tell us. In HO scale, the Eiffel Tower would be approximately 17.7 inches tall, 45 centimeters. HO scale is typically 180 to 87. Okay. In HO scale, it would be approximately 17 inches tall, and therefore, if the actual tower is 324 meters tall, the HO scale model would be 324 divided by 7, or approximately 3.7 meters tall. Okay, so what happened here? Seems like we found a little glitch. Is that right? And you can call into question what it said. I apologize for my mistake. I made a miscalculation in HO scale, which is 187. The Eiffel Tower would be approximately... What? Therefore, okay, so it said 17.7 inches, and now it's saying something else. So this is a fun little thing that you can do, and you can tease out these actual problems. It's also very important to be aware that these can happen, and then you got to be aware of them. So let's fix this. Again, I asked it to correct itself, but it's a little confused. So let's just start with the basics and figure this out ourselves. What is the scale of 4? I'm so sorry for my typing here. It's like I got a cable running across my keyboard, and I will fix that for next time. Okay, so it says 1/87th, so I'm just gonna like independently verify this HO scale. 187. All right. What's the height of the Eiffel Tower? We'll ask it the same question again, and we'll verify that. Okay, so it would appear that perhaps, but I don't think that's enough to account for the difference. So it's using 1,063 feet, which is not one of these numbers, but whatever. Oh, I spelled, okay, whatever. What is 324 meters divided by 87? Again, we'll just do that over here. 324 m divided by 87, and we'll have our 3.7 meters. So 3.7 meters is quite tall. Obviously, that's 12.2 feet. Therefore, if the actual tower is 324 meters tall, the HO model should be, and this is correct here. But where is it getting this 37 centimeters? Because that is very small. Okay, honestly, I don't know. Okay, I'll just say, why did you say 37 centimeters before? Okay, well, I mean, it acknowledged its mistake. Why do you think you said that? I'm still confused as like how that even could come up. Sometimes it makes sense when it makes mistakes, you know, but all right. Anyway, that was a great example of how it can be wrong, and you should always be aware of how it can be wrong. So, you know, just talking a little bit about how people are using this, you know, if you're writing code, ChatGPT can write code. If you are doing a research project, you could ask it, you know, questions about your topic. If you are writing essays or making presentations, you can ask it, you know, for an outline or something like that, or what are some important tips to follow. Or you can give it some text and have it make suggestions or variations. The possibilities are almost endless when it comes to, you know, anything language-based. But then you do have to watch out for those errors. One fun exercise is asking it to write poems. Write me a 4-line rhyming poem about chocolate chip cookies. How about comparing chocolate chip cookies to cow poop? Cow pies. Does it know what cow pies are? Thinking. Oh, I must apologize. Okay, fine. Is the cow pies inappropriate? Oh, wait, what? While I understand your request, I must apologize. As a language model, I cannot compromise my programming to create content that's obscene or inappropriate, hurtful, or mean. Okay, so I guess it thought that the cow pies were obscene. Sorry, my bad. I'm a little immature. Write me a 4-line rhyming poem about chocolate chip cookies and how they are delicious, but also fattening. Pro and con poem here. Chocolate chip cookies, a sweet delight, with each bite a moment of pure respite, but their sugary bliss comes at a cost, for with each cookie the waistline is embossed. It does a very nice job with these poems. Please write the same topic in the format of a rhyming limerick. There once was a cookie so grand, with chocolate chips oh so bland. It was delicious, no doubt, but too much made you pout. For your diet, it was not so well planned. All right, now that didn't quite make sense with bland chocolate chips. Maybe one last complicated question, and then we'll wrap up. How much rocket fuel would it take to send a herd of elephants into orbit around Jupiter? And it's probably going to be like, I don't know a lot of the specific facts about, you know, fuel consumption. So maybe it's going to give it, oh, come on. Sending a herd of elephants into orbit around Jupiter would require an enormous amount of rocket fuel. In fact, it's currently impossible with our current technology. Even if it were possible, the amount of rocket fuel required would be so immense that it is difficult to estimate. It would be far more practical to send robotic probes and rovers to explore Jupiter and its moon. What is the lift capacity of SpaceX's Falcon Heavy. Maybe a herd of elephants is too much. Okay, so how many elephants is that? But this is to low Earth orbit, so yeah, so you can estimate, you can approximate. I know it's difficult to give an exact estimate. Okay, there we go. Okay, so about 7 male elephants. Okay. How much more fuel is required to achieve an orbit around Jupiter compared to low Earth orbit? The amount of fuel required to achieve an orbit around Jupiter compared to Leo depends on many factors such as blah, blah, blah. Generally, it would require significantly more fuel. All right, well, I'm sure there's some more specific questions that we could be asking, such as what is the Leo escape velocity or something like that. Is that the right question? Leaving lower, well, okay, so 25,000 miles per hour. Okay, what escape velocity is required to reach Jupiter? All right, so we have to go from 11.2 kilometers per second to 60 kilometers per second to reach Jupiter. So there's at least a comparison that I was trying to get at, even if it doesn't have enough known values to provide some useful estimates. Sometimes we're just asking questions that are too out there, and so it just has to kind of answer like it would talk to a baby, like it's going to require a lot of fuel. If we start giving it more specific information, though, we can start piecing that specific data together, and it can give us some more specific answers. So, it's just too fun talking to ChatGPT. I'm going to do some more episodes in the future where we write some code. We're just going to do some fun things. You'll see. It's coming up. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.